There's been a lot of propaganda, certainly state-sponsored propaganda. There's been a lot of negative talk, in particular tribal talk. There's been many efforts geared to creating division, tribal division. We refused to give it attention. We refused to push it. I'm very, very glad that we've had firm voices from northern Uganda today. I didn't want Comrade Mungu to stop talking. Unfortunately, he stopped because of time. I did not want Comrade Adonyo to stop talking. And I salute you, Comrade Eyek Gerard, and all the leaders from northern Uganda. It's always important for us to hear from you other than to speak for you, even when we speak with the same voice. And I'm very glad that the nation has heard from you. It has been Museveni's effort all the time. It is his tactic to create division among the oppressed people. With all the oppression that Museveni has done in northern Uganda, with the genocide that was sponsored and perpetuated by him in northern Uganda for decades, he has, like the former Russian dictator Joseph Stalin, who spoke to his supporters that the best way to subdue people and make them follow your will is to oppress them and oppress them some more, and then be the only source of their meals. He stripped the chicken, removed all its feathers, but in pain, the chicken had to follow him because he's the only one who could throw crumbs at him. That is what he has done to many regions, including northern Uganda. It is very heartbreaking to see the same people that used to speak in the interests of northern Uganda, and of course, by extension, the interests of all oppressed people in Uganda. The people that used to speak against Museveni's oppression in northern Uganda are being used to support Museveni's oppression in northern Uganda. So I'm very, very glad to see you, comrades, standing firm and standing for what you believe in. I salute you and I welcome you. It's in the same breath that I want to also welcome those that are seeing the light and taking the side of the people, leaving the side of the oppressor. Comrades, we welcome you. Like you, many of us did not see the light until it was almost too late. I am like you. Once upon a time, it only mattered about my music and about my personal well-being until I saw that I can't be free until all of us are free. It was long overdue, ladies and gentlemen. Those that were used by Museveni in 2001 and were not used by Museveni in 2016, it was good. Those that were used by Museveni in 2016 are not used by Museveni in 2021, we salute them. And those that were used by Museveni yesterday but are not used by Museveni today, we salute you. At least that is a good step to the right direction. But I'll speak more to that later. I want to welcome comrades from TESO. We welcome you, friends. When I'm in TESO, my name is Elakuna. And ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, now you're hearing not from Chagulanyi, not from Bobby Wine, but from Elakuna. We welcome you to the head office of the National Unity Platform and thank you for making time. I want to salute you, my sister Asio. I want to salute you, my brother Imachu. I want to salute all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I saw Chaila Pwezi. Salutations to you, my brother, and all of you leaders from TESO. Of course, we continue to condole with you over the loss of the Mori Mori, but we know that it's the Lord that gives and it's the Lord that takes away. May his name continue to be glorified. I want to salute Their Excellencies, the Guild Presidents from all over Uganda, you are such a pillar. You represent the new generation. Many of us are growing very fast. Just yesterday I was a young man, but I can no longer call myself a young man today. But to always say it, I'm an example that Museveni came when I was only 4 years, but now I am 40. It's just yesterday when I was just like you, and look where I am. Museveni has stolen away my entire youthful years, and the same has happened to all those in my generation. So this is a fight that you must embrace with both your hands and legs. I salute you, because at your age, many of us, we are still eye closed. But now you are all awakened at the right age. And like Dr. Martin Luther King told us, the time is always right to do what is right. So everything has to be done by now. I want to borrow the words of my brother Wambare, who we like to call Western Prince. He said it's not about 2026, it's about now. Every year that Museveni spends on top of our country, we sink 5 years down. Every month that he spends ruling over us, we go back 5 times behind. So, we are already running behind schedule. We must remove Museveni, and we must remove. The best time to remove him is yesterday. The second best time is today. So let's not think about 2026 or any time, but let's think about now. Whatever we do, let's make sure we reduce his influence. Let's make sure we weaken the dictator. And sooner or later, we will be able to live in a free Uganda, free of Museveni. We've seen torture victims here. We don't like to parade people in such a condition. Many of them cannot come here. We know that it demoralizes people. But again, we have to do it because Museveni has largely succeeded in ruling over us by hiding his atrocities. Our biggest weapon has been the camera. We don't have guns, at least not yet. We are not violent. Our biggest resource is the truth. So by exposing the truth unfiltered, unedited, we are damaging the regime, and we should continue doing that. That is why we continue to expose all the torture that Museveni is doing. I told you before, and I continue to remind you, that we petitioned the International Criminal Court. I want to encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, to believe in justice, especially international justice. Museveni could have compromised the courts of justice here in Uganda, but he cannot compromise the courts of law internationally. Like all other dictators, like, you know, the one of Liberia, like his close friend Omar al-Bashir, one day Museveni is going to be a fugitive. And that day is not going to be very far from now. He will have to pay for the pain that he has caused on the people of Uganda. So for all of you fellow sufferers, let us continue pushing hard. Let us not give in to the negativity. Let us not give up. One day justice is going to be served. Museveni is not any different from you. The only difference from us is that he's too old. He's not supernatural. One day he's going to be in the dock, and he's going to answer for all this. He's going to answer for the genocide in northern Uganda. He's going to answer for the murders in eastern Uganda. And indeed, he's going to account for your cattle. So, every mutilated citizen of Uganda, every tortured person will have their field day when Museveni is in the door. Of course, not just Museveni, but Museveni, his son, and all his accomplices. A day of justice will come, ladies and gentlemen. But let me come back to you, friends, especially those that have joined us today. We welcome you. Although the National Unity Platform is a political party, we are not doing politics as usual. We did not start out as a political party. We are people power. The National Unity Platform is only a political wing of the People Power Movement. The People Power Movement has one major objective, is to put an end to the Museveni dictatorship and return power to the people of Uganda. So now that you're joining us, I want to tell you ab initio that we are not doing politics as usual. For us, we are intending to remove a dictator. And everybody whose intention is weakening and ultimately destroying the Museveni dictatorship is our friend, no matter what party they belong to. And everybody whose intention is to help Museveni hang on longer on power, even if they're in the opposition. As a matter of fact, even if they belong to the National Unity Platform, those are enemies of the people of Uganda. You have seen so many people who purport to be on the side of the oppressed, who purport to be in the opposition, and some of them purporting to be members of the National Unity Platform, whose words and actions are helping the dictator to hang on more on power. Those are enemies of the people of Uganda. And like I said, anybody who works and speaks for the destruction and end of the Museveni regime, that is a friend of Uganda. That I wanted you to know. While we welcome you to work together, belonging to the NUP in image is only an opportunity for us to work together. But for us, we judge people not by their words, but by their actions. We want to tell you that the people of Uganda are massively awakened and they see through the lies. He will bring a group of people, no matter where he gets them from, because he has raided our offices, taken our paraphernalia, our t-shirts, our berets, and he has the money, the taxpayers' money, to print even more, dresses them as NUP and parades them as defectors from the National Unity Platform. Even when there are real and genuine people defecting from the dictatorship, we want to tell you that defecting from the NRM is not enough. It is working for the people of Uganda and working in the interest of the people of Uganda that matters. We have seen many comrades that know that Museveni now is on the verge of collapse and is only using terrorism, he's using violence and bribery to hang on to power. We know that just tomorrow you might see some people presenting themselves back to the dictatorship because he has given them money. I want to remind you that for us it's not about money. This is not a contract or a covenant between us, the leadership of the National Unity Platform, and you. It's a covenant between you and the people of Uganda. You do not account to us, you're not accountable to us, but to the people of Uganda, to the people of northern Uganda, to the people of western Uganda, to the people of Rwenzururu, the people of Rwenzori, and all these other places where you come from. So it is those people that you serve, not the leadership of the National Unity Platform. And I hope tomorrow Museveni does not send you millions and then all of a sudden he becomes good. All of a sudden he becomes a saint. The road that you've taken, first of all, is a road of truth. You have taken the right step. Please do not backslide. I thought it's important to remind you of that, ladies and gentlemen. Do not let a person that has humiliated your people again convince you with peanuts. When you remove Museveni, all this money belongs to the people of Uganda. It's supposed to rehabilitate your schools, your hospitals. It's supposed to build your roads, not to bribe you. We've seen many people being bribed to close their eyes to the realities of their people, including leaders. All these leaders can no longer pretend not to see that Museveni is the problem of their regions. Museveni is the #1 tribalist. You know that. For those who still doubt, go look through the ministries. Go look through police. Go look through the military. Go look through all the offices that matter. But again, he will try to play reverse psychology and put it on you. When the black people were oppressed back then, they were not allowed to talk about racism. You talk about racism, they say you are being racist. The same thing Museveni is using in Uganda today. He and those hangers on around him practice open tribalism. But when we complain about tribalism, then he tags us to be tribalists. Do not fall prey to that. We want to welcome you, comrades. Let us work together. For us, we've never stopped. And we've got a new energy. Let's use it for the better of all of us. We are all Ugandans. And this is a fight between good and the evil. And we are glad that you have taken the side of good. I will tell you that our side has its risks. For those who refuse to be compromised, they are arrested, they are framed, they are beaten, they are imprisoned, some are killed. We have some comrades that just survived abduction just yesterday, while others were abducted, as you've been seeing on social media. But we continue pushing on because we know all this will happen, but at the end of the day, Museveni will fall. And when Museveni falls, we shall proceed to build a new Uganda, a Uganda that all of us are going to be proud to belong to. So with those few remarks, comrades, I want to remind you, I want to welcome you and remind you that we are a national party. We are a unifying party. We are, aware of the challenges that other forces of change are facing, and we are working with them. They are our comrades. They are our friends, especially those that stand against the dictator. And those that stand with the dictator are enemies, not only for us, but for the people of Uganda. I thank you for God and my country.